Steph, do you want to show your bio slide?
Stephanie, you got a gray box right in the middle.
Okay, shall we start, Steph?
Sorry. Wait, Richard said I have a gray box in the middle.
It has gone just now.
Now,
Uh,
Okay, it's gone already.
okay.
but I can see the line that says you are screen sharing.
Huh. Where is it,
Middle top portion.
Should I hold on, How about this?
Okay, now it's perfect. Yeah. Shall we start, Steph? All right. So good evening, everyone. It's our time again to share some product knowledge in our weekly product call. As usual, we invite those that have enough knowledge, good knowledge in their field to share about our products. And tonight rather, in Singapore and Malaysia, we are fortunate to have our own leader to share this knowledge. She is a former software engineer, engineering manager, a former traditional business owner, and we also recognize that she and her husband has climbed the ladder to become director in our business, and she is very well versed when it comes to our products. All right, and tonight she's going to share with us the supplements that we all must have, right? So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Stephanie. Over to you,
Thank you,
Stephanie.
Jeffrey. Thank you. Today, the question here comes where everyone always asks, what do I really need to have? So today I'm gonna share a topic. You're gonna participate with me on that, and I'm gonna share a couple of things. Now, here's the thing: I'm not gonna share with you product details because we only have an hour, but it's very basic products that you know. So for all the customers here, thank you for joining us. And if there's something that perhaps that you want information a little bit more, you can always get a previous recording on more details of the products or more of get with the person that brought you here on it. And I want to make a disclaimer here that this statement in this presentation has not been evaluated by the FDA, and Market America products are not intended to diagnose or cure or treat any diseases. And so that you know, and also whatever I talked about the products here are referencing the shop.com Market America product. So we're referencing the delivery system that we have with our product there. So in reference to it, so if any products that's other than that that you're using, I can't guarantee that you have the same results. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. What do you really use? So we're going to set goals. You're going to set goals. And we're going to talk about my 5 core pillars of health, the baseline product suggestions, and we're going to do some Q&A. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about baseline. When I talk about baseline is like that basic that you're going to use. And what's that baseline? I'm not going to talk about chronic illnesses, chronic diseases, or has we always talk about in natural medicine or naturopathic, and in nutrition there's always like treatment, foundational treatment and repair. But we're going to talk about foundational, something that you need if you have done it, and why is it that you need these products. Okay, so you're going to figure it out and we're going to figure it out together. So here's where we're going to set the goal for you. when it comes to health in your situation, you can ask yourself at the end of the journey, whether you're 80 years old, 50 years old, 30 years old today, are you interested in looking better? You don't want more agility. Do you want to get sick all the time, or you don't want to get sick all the time? You want a better lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle are you looking at in terms of health? A lifestyle that you can travel, walk, and go anywhere you want without any joint pain? Or would you like to travel with an oxygen tank? Or better yet, if you're younger, you might have asthma. Would you like to carry an asthma? Or would you like to carry pills all the time, right? Memories. Basically, you want to create memories, but do you want to remember things? Or do you want to, or you at a certain point of time, you're okay with forgetting things, like having a dementia or things like that. Are you okay with that? Social is very important because it does help with our stress level, and it has help with many different things. So here's where I'm gonna ask you, what do you want? What kind of lifestyle do you want? What do you want to feel? What do you want to look like? So that's what is your choice. So here are three pictures. Which skin texture that you want? Do you want a glowy skin? Do you want a dull skin? Do you want an age damage? What is it that you want? Do you want to look like the first one, even though when you're 80 years old or 60 years old? Some of you might think, is it possible? Haha, it's possible. Is it? So what if you can look like the first one? Or maybe the second one? Would you do it? Would you consider to pay attention? So what is it that you want to look at different periods of your time? So age well, okay? This is aging for women and men. They didn't age so bad. It looks pretty nice, pretty cool, right? This is staying fit, strong, vibrant, and healthy. Or would you like to have this at 40, 50? Look at the 60, look at the 70 years old. I'm going to go back. Looks so nice at 60 and 70. It's like 70 years old. Which one would you prefer? The first one or the second one? Can I hear? Do you want to be like the first picture, which is this one, or would you like the second picture? Go ahead and write it out. One or two? This is one. This is two. Which one do you want? Which one do you guys want? One or two? I don't know about you. I'd rather have one than two, right? I don't want to be carrying an oxygen tank walking around. I want to be agile even when I'm 70. My mother-in-law is 93 years old. She walks faster than me. Crazy, right? So, how about when you're 80 years old? Do you want to look like that? He's pretty hot, I have to say, for an 80-year-old. How about this guy? Right? He's well known in China. How about this lady? She is 80 years old. Okay? Looks good, huh? How about this lady who's a bodybuilder? Don't you want to look something like really healthy, vibrant when you're 80 years old? Is it possible? These people are proving it's possible. So now you have to think, looking at what I've shown you, what would you like? Do you want major health challenge? Not only all the three highs, the cholesterol, the blood pressure, and the diabetes. You're gonna have arthritis, you're gonna have joint pain, and then what else? You're gonna have memory loss. Is that what you want? How about agility? We are all on different phases of life, whether we're in 30s, 40s, 50, or 60. Do you want to have a social life? Do you want to be able to not feel like grouchy when you go out? You just want to feel energetic. You want to feel like you're confident, right? Or do you want to be dependent on people? Would you like to be independent, driving your own life, whether you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90? You want to be self-reliant in terms of health, to be able to pick things up yourself, do things yourself? Or do you want somebody to carry you, hold you, and do everything for you, and that you can't do anything? Do you want to have great memories, be able to remember things better, even the finest details? You know, what is it? Or better yet, as we age, you want to have all your teeth. Some of us don't even have all our teeth at 35 or 40 years old. Would you like to have that? What would you like? Ora, oops. You have to decide right now. So now I want you to do this. I want you to think about, oops, I can't move backwards. What you want. So let's talk about health for a second before we go on to the next one. When it comes to health, when it comes to you, what is it that you want for your health? What is it that you would like to see? So I want to see on the chat screen to ask you, okay, what do you want to do when you age? What is it that you want to feel as far as health wise? You can type, unmute yourself, anybody. What would you like to see? Would you like to look good when you're more of age? Would you like to have joint ache and you can't climb or walk? What is it that you want in your health goal? I like this one, being mobile, able to independent and look good. Yeah, looking good, right? What else would you like? I want you to think about you. Think about what? And we're going to start here, okay? Oh, look good and have strength. Me, you both, right? Stamina, youthful skin, right? Hey, here we go. Still energetic and active. Yes. So here's the thing, guys. You have to now decide how you're going to live subsequently for the rest of your days. And we begin. This is my 5 pillars of nutrition foundation. And I call it baseline. Nutrition, sleep well, stress management, exercise, social connection. So we're going to start with nutrition. Before we get started, first I need you to understand what are supplementation. To me, it's a nutrient source of food designed to fill the gaps created by modern diet and lifestyle. So things that we cannot fill in through our food, through our lifestyle. So the body can still perform, recover, and thrive, meaning your body can still perform if possibly at optimal and not weigh the consequences of having health challenges, in the future. It allows a little flexibility in our lives without heavily compromising our health. We still want to do the things that we do. We still want to move the way, like contribute to our work and stuff like that, right? But we don't want to compromise our health. And that's what nutrition supplementation, the gaps are, is to fill in the gaps where we cannot. So that's to me what it is. So I want you to think about filling in the gaps and where we at. Okay. So what's your diet? Let's take a look at it. Familiar? This is the Singapore Malaysian diet. Today, this week, let's ask yourself, what did you eat? Did you get your kaya toast this morning? Nasi lemak? Roti canai, we call it in Singapore, roti prata. So it's very common dishes that we do. So that's a very typical Singapore Malaysian meal, right? Now for the US, the United States listening in, this is a very typical United States breakfast, lunch, and dinner. How's your diet this week? Is it anywhere comparing to this? All right, so you're going like, yeah, here she goes. So what if I tell you that when you look at all of this, okay, the gap of a kaya toast egg is low protein, low fiber. Nasi lemak has high saturated and also high carbs and fat combo. Roti canai is low in protein, very high fat, yeah, refined cells. Your lunch chicken rice, lack of fiber for sure. Okay, nasi goreng, fried oil. Okay, high carb, low protein. Laksa, oh yeah, yeah. coconut mix, very high fat law and carbs. So you look at even chili crab, need more vegetable, not enough. Rendang and rice, okay, high saturated, too heavy. Okay, so I know the char kway teow, the lard and the oil are poor, very, 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 very poor balance. So here's what it is. We're feeding ourselves this, okay? I need you to start thinking and thinking about your thoughts. The American breakfast, you look at it, um, you look at all of this that you're looking at on the American breakfast as far as protein, low, refined carbs, you know, very refined. In a nutshell, when you look at all of them and you look at the amount that you have, it's very low in health wise. So, how many of you would say that 80%, 60%, okay, what would you rate yourself? That what I showed you, that would be the percentage of food that you ate this week. Like in that sense, 60%, 20%, what, 5%, that picture that you got, that standard, you know? So here's the question you need to ask. There's no nutritional value to it. Well, maybe some, right? So I want you to imagine feeding yourself that. And I know I'm getting at one point, you wrote your goals of how you want to look like. You keep eating that way, you're not feeding yourself to look good or feel good. So what's the difference between SG and American diet? You see, is the protein is too low, it's not enough. Fiber is very low, both sides. Carbohydrate is high, very, very high on that. Fat is moderately high, very, very high. Apparently, the US diet is very high on everything, right? So the conclusion, Singapore, Malaysia, too much carb, not enough nutrients. The American diet, too much of everything, but still missing what matters. So we're not feeding ourselves enough to function with our daily life. So what's a good diet? I want to take a picture of this. 20 or 30% protein built to repair. You need good fats. Okay, you need carbs, smart carbs, macronutrients, micronutrients, which what has the minerals, colored food, antioxidants inside your food, gut health. You need 25 to 30 grams of fiber, prebiotics, probiotics, and this gives you what you call in one meal, in a meal that you should have, and you should plate it with that. So how many of you could say safely that you easily get 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day? And how many of you can safely say, hey, I do take about 30% of protein, or healthy fat or carbs in a day? Just think about what you ate today. And then think about what you ate yesterday. Okay. Are you like a guess? What kind of oil are you putting in yourself? So this is a chart that you can see, where you have different kinds of nutrients, you have, things for gut health. This is something that is a balance. Yeah, I purposely did this so that you could see this. I'm gonna take my glasses off so I can see kaya toast half set, one boiled egg kopi o. Not bad, huh? Chicken rice, less rice, stir fry kai lan with soup. Okay, and your dinner will be grilled fish, sambal kangkong, okay, and brown rice just for the Singapore Malaysian, yeah. And the Malaysian would have what, the nasi lemak half portion, egg, tumis, kopi kosong. Okay. So what I'm saying is that it gives you somewhat of an adjustment. And you can learn this through GoTrim. And I'm not talking about GoTrim right now, but it gives you something that you could feed. It gives you a balanced diet where it has the protein, it gives you healthy fat, it gives you smart carbs, complex carbs, and it also has a nutritional value to it, so that what it is that you eat counts and it's feeding your body. It's important that we understand that, because we need to have that consideration. So if I were to put on a plate 50% of it would be my vegetables and fruit, probably mostly vegetables, about 6 to 7 uh, servings, and then of course a plate of protein, and as well as either starches, grains, or so it's kind of like a smart eating plate here. Now I'm gonna ask you, we're looking at the plate. Does your morning breakfast look like that? Does your lunch look like that? And what about dinner? Does it look anywhere like that? I mean, look at the portions of what it is. Is there anywhere like that? I can almost guarantee you, probably most of you will be no. Am I right? It is only my end. Oh, is the slides blur? I'm so sorry. Can you see?
Can see it's blur and clear sometimes, then blur again.
Oh, sorry, then don't know leh. It looks very clear on my side.
It's clear
All
on
right.
your side though.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jeffrey. So there are four components of Go Trim. And I think this is so perfect to learn how to basically accommodate it, because it doesn't just go on one, it goes on the education side. So you learn. So learning how to eat right, how to plate right, what is glycemic impact, learning how to work with blood sugar level, learning how to basically eat what is not processed, also is an education. I highly recommend that. And Go Trim covers low glycemic impact eating, as well as science-based supplements, not for all of them, but at least to handle your situation where the supplements can help you. And also not forgetting improving body composition. Yes, you do have to move. I like this overall concept, and I highly recommend, if you have to choose something, to learn to live the Go Trim lifestyle. So healthy levels of food can be many. Okay, so here's where I'm going to ask you this question. What level of health do you want? Survival, I just barely want to survive. You want general health, or you want optimal health? You want peak performance? So here's a question. Which one? You want survival health, meaning calories, okay, minimum requirement. You want general health, which moderate, okay, whole foods here and there, consistency, okay, or you want optimal health, that one that look good. How many of you would prefer optimal health or peak longevity? So you can type in which one you want. Peak. Wow, Angela. Anybody? Survival, general health, optimal health, or you want peak? Optimal, okay? I will answer that. Optimal, okay? So, well, okay, we see a lot of people want optimal, maybe peak performance, not so many. The reason why it's very hard, because it's very difficult to achieve with food. The diet and the food that you have. That means no supplements, completely using the food is very difficult. And peak performance is not realistic. That means if you want to achieve peak performance just solely on just pure diet, it's going to be very, very difficult. These days, almost not possible. I'll explain to you why. So you have to decide which health level you want. Now, once you pick your health level, so you're going to write this down as we go along. You're going to write your health level, okay? And then you're going to move forward. So there's a lot of root cause here to health condition. When you look at basically baseline nutrition not being achieved. Baseline nutrition, meaning standard nutrition level that we have. If you're eating anywhere, like what I showed you with the Singapore diet or so, you don't have a baseline nutrition. Okay. So in the long run, you compromise your immunity, your energy level goes up and down. Healthy organ. Younger generation, you may not feel, you may get glimpse of it. Older generation, once you pass 40, things start slipping. Okay. So you can hear like you're gonna have a little foggy mind, flexibility started to be compromised, right? So it's very important. You're not the cell being nourished and the cell being deficient. Two different things. We're like a car, well, like a, you know, if we do it well, we everything is so nice, so new, so good. But if you don't do it well, our house is completely damaged. So, and also if you don't take care and you don't feed our body well, there's a lot of chronic diseases can happen because of poor diet, and we're going to talk about that as well. And also with lack of baseline, just basic nutrition, you can have heart disease, diabetes, and it can incur in due time. It can happen. Not now, but maybe in terms. So if you're younger, okay, consider yourself lucky. But as you go along, you keep sustaining this. Things like baseline nutrition you're not having, it's going to happen. It eventually will, okay? So I just showed you here, this is like a multivitamins that you have. And these are like the listing of food. What I want you to do is, these are required daily intake. I want you to look at the amount. Look at the amount, the carrots and all these things. I want to ask you a question. In your current day-to-day life, do you feel that you could prepare all of this in a day? I mean, different, of course, different time of the day. Then do you already doing it? If you're already doing it, kudos. Can you do it for 365 days in a year? Hit every single portion of it. I will tell you, even I myself could not hit the whole thing. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to ask you a question. Can every one of you on this call safely say, I could do all of it? No problem. Or you say, it's going to be a challenge every single day. I ate chickpea yesterday. Okay, that's one chickpea. Thank you very much for sharing. Okay, I'm asking you to look at all of them. You think you can go through it every day? Yes or no? Tak boleh. Okay. Another golden star. Cannot. You just proved me a point why it's close to impossible. Okay, it's that not considering gut health. Now, this is not considering you have a gut issue. Okay, when you have a gut issue, you now have to double what those food example you saw, because you're not going to absorb all of it. Soil depletion. So if you don't consider, if the you have to consider soil depletion. They don't produce like what they do in the nutrition. So now you have to increase another 20% amount to cover it. Lifestyle, higher damage. The body use more nutrition daily because while you're stressed, you wake up late, you rush to work, you swallow your food, you have pollution, you have what you call EMF waves, right? So meaning that this could double because of all these situations. Okay. That is the reason why this is very important. Multivitamin. Whatever you do, your baseline nutrition has to be there. Recently, one of my UFO mom had to had a liver transplant. And they were waiting. And about a few weeks ago, almost a month ago, she told me, she said, my mom doesn't have to have a liver transplant. I said, what happened? Well, we started giving her multivitamin, isotonics multivitamin. And because of that, so I was just talking to Jim. He says baseline nutrition is not there. Baseline is so important. I learned this from as a nutrimetrics consultant with my doctors. A lot of them love the isotonics multivitamin because it covers baseline nutrition. Baseline nutrition that potentially would tip the scale for blood sugar, tip the scale for blood pressure, tip the scale for thyroid issue, would help you because you have the right nutrition. Why I list you so many? Because even the pet also have a multivitamin. So you can either choose between the over 50 multivitamins with iron or without iron, or the prenatal. So pick one. That is the reason why every one of you who don't eat what I showed you just now, okay, need to take the multivitamin and put it in a cart. That is a must. So take that multivitamin, write down on your notes, I need multivitamins. You cannot not have multivitamins, okay? And instead of eating all of that to cover those nutrition value, you only need 1 cap a day. Satu saja, okay? 1 cap a day covers your baseline. Isn't that cool? So you choose, eat all of that I showed you to cover your daily value, or you take that 1 cap and put it in your isotonics cup, it covers your daily value. Which would you prefer? 1 cap or do all the work to eat? I don't know about you, I choose 1 cap. Okay. So now food keeps you alive, but it really keeps you to your best, right? As we move for survival, optimal, and performance, the gap between what we need and what food provides get bigger. Today's problem isn't starvation, it's a hidden deficiency in the world. So add on to other supplementation. If you cannot, the multivitamin, this is for people that don't need fiber, don't need probiotics, you might want to consider this to add on. Okay, so fiber powder, prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzyme. Those are something that you may want to consider. These are just add-on things that you want. So, but breathe. Let's take the multivitamin and put it in, and let's learn a little bit about the Gold Trim diet. Okay, you see that chart? It's okay. You don't even need this. You just have to have this Gold Trim on it. Okay, so learn how to eat with it. So next we're going to talk about sleep. So important. How many of you could safely say you have 8 hours of sleep a day? I like to see how many of you say, if you have 8 hours to 9 hours of sleep, would you let me know? Yes or no? 8 hours to 9 hours of sleep per day. Come on. I'm trying to see, reading my text. 8 hours to 9 hours of sleep. How many of you have 8 hours to 9 hours sleep? No. 6 hours. Okay. 8 hours to 9 hours of sleep. So you're going to take the multivitamin, every one of us, don't feed that. You got to put the multivitamins inside. Five. So there are 3 sections of sleep when you look at this. The first is light sleeping. Okay. So you sleep light, you get up. Those are like what you call cat naps, right? You help that relax, heart rate slows down. So those are the transitional stage. The second thing is the REM sleep and the deep sleep. REM sleep is generally about 20 to 25% of the time. Deep sleep is about 20 to 25%. Doing this research, I realized that we don't get to choose a rhythm and pattern of how long we do the REM sleep and how long the deep sleep is. But as long as the key is, as long as you sleep and you get up, you don't feel tired and you feel refreshed, you've achieved the sleep that you need. Okay. So there are 3 body cycles on the sleep per night. Is that you have light sleep, just a slow recovery period. Then you have what you call REM sleep. REM sleep will help with the memory, the amyloid plaque to detox your mind. You know, basically help that brain recovery and reset, right? The deep sleep is the repair, where the muscle get repaired, immune supports happen, growth hormones get released, tissue recovery happens. So when you sleep, your body goes to work. So you do have to have that. Why it's important is that when you don't have that, your body doesn't go through the rest and restore, reset, neither do they do the body recovery. So can you imagine if you're an athlete that you don't have that gauge? Can you imagine if you go to work and you're that stressed, you don't even have that reset happening to you, and before you know it, the wound didn't heal, you have to go back to the battleground again. So good sleep equals enough, a full cycle and quality. You feel focused, you feel good. So if you have a good sleep, you get up, you don't feel like tired, you feel refreshed, well, you're good. Okay. Sleep is important. So we're talking baseline. We're not even talking like peak performance or so, just basic that you need to do. Why is it important? Okay, sleep is important for baseline health, for the brain to reset, immune system, hormones balance. Also, optimal health, help metabolism and losing weight. If you're losing weight, that is important. That sleep is important. It could be just a sleep issue that could tilt the scale for you. How about recover and performance for muscle repair, energy restoration, longevity and health span also, right? What happens when you do without sleep? Your stress level go up, your blood sugar control goes up, your cravings are more, you gain more fat cells, and you're low in energy. So where are you at? So if you have basically blood sugar issue, and you do everything that you're not doing, you're doing right, have you considered your sleep? Right? Or you're getting on the scale and you're still not having the same fat percentage or changing. Have you ever considered your sleep? Those are important. Sleep plays a part and we often ignore it. Okay. So we talked about that already. And this is where it tells you what you can take, what you can do. There's body support. Of course, you have magnesium, right? Um, and you want to basically eat a friendlier meal for dinner, right? For your body. It's a body support. Stay hydrated. So important. Relax, meditation, that can help you with sleep. Reduce stimulation as well. Blue light. Limit your blue light. You know, the cell phone like this. Maybe not read it an hour before. Right? It's important. Keep your phone away. Avoid caffeine so late. Optimize your environment. Cool and dark. I like to sleep when it's cold. It's very important to me. Um, as well as light noises. And that's why Richard moved the lamp to the other side. He doesn't like light when he sleeps. So, you want to wind down your body so that you could rest and slow it down, manage the stress accordingly, right? So, there are many ways of reducing the stress on it. Of course, change your environment. Sleep deprivation leads to hormone imbalance and nutritional support. I want you to take a look at this. Hormone that sleep deprivation affect. What happened when the cortisol increase? It stays elevated. The bodies go on fat storage and anxiety mode. So what you can do is definitely OPC3, magnesium, and B vitamins. Melatonin, poor production of melatonin. So you're producing lesser melatonin. So it means you cannot sleep, right? Magnesium and zinc. So it's always, we have a product called Prime Sleep. And of course, not forgetting vitamin D. Growth hormone reduction. So reduction of repair and muscle loss. You get, again, aging, guys, aging. Okay. So these are information that you can use basically if you're sleep depriving, your leptin goes down, your ghrelin goes up, you get hungrier, insulin resistance goes up, so poor blood sugar control. When you have poor blood sugar control, you have fat storage and energy crashes, so you need supplementation to prevent that from happening. So these are daily support, and a lot of it are in your multivitamin. A lot of it are in your basically daily essentials. So sleep management has so many, we talked about this, but when you look at the whole thing, you notice there's something there, like the B vitamins and your magnesium. They're basically inside your product. So the next product line is definitely called stress management. Well, stress baseline is survival mode, right? Short-term stress, there are three kinds. So short-term stress is okay. It's just quick, fight or flight. Chronic stress keeps your body on all the time, and hormones like cortisol stay elevated. So chronic stress breaks your baseline, meaning it's past baseline. We're not talking chronic stress today. Maybe on another time we can talk about it, but we're talking short term. So if you're in chronic stress, you're going to have poor REM sleep, hormone imbalance, weak immune system, one of those, poor digestive and gut. It does affect. How do you know? Well, when every time you don't feel comfortable with things or you're getting anxiety, do you feel crunching in your stomach? Uh, your gut has over 550 hormones that governs that, all over your body. So it plays a lot of relationship to it. Stress depletes key nutrition also, and vitamin C, which is antioxidant, B complex, magnesium, omega-3 are one of the few that it does depletes. Okay, now here's we talked about it, not gonna, and that's a repeat structure. Wait, that's not stress, it's supposed to be. Is it stress? That one sleep, this is stress. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I was just trying to finish this up. There you go. That's actually sleep. If sleep is your foundation, stress is the cortisol switch. Sleep is your foundation, stress is your control switch. So foundation, control switch. You can eat well, supplement and exercise, but if stress is unmanaged, your body stays dysfunction. Staying again. If stress is unmanaged, your body stays dysfunction. Stress management restores baseline, everything else work better. So you need to manage your stress so that everything in you can work better. Oops, oopsie. Sorry, my. Oops. Exercise. Next is exercise. So exercise is important. We need to move because why we exercise and it's non-negotiable is because it resets the metabolism, supports hormone and helps balance it, rebuilds energy and cellular levels, protect baseline health, and even prevents any decline. No movement, the body slows down. It even improves memory. So what you want for a daily foundation, target about 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Averagely, it varies from people to people. Walking low stress, high return, so helps with fat metabolization. Strength training is about 2 to 3 times a week, cardio 2 to 3 times a week, and recover and nerve system to reset daily. So recovery
Sorry, Steph,
also like
this screen
meditating.
is blur. This exercise screen is blur. Can't read.
I'm so sorry, it's not blue on my side.
It's blue on my side also.
Really, maybe
Yeah.
just needing to settle, but it's not blur like on my side.
Also
Very clear. Huh?
I said
Cannot
also
read at
blur on
all.
my side.
Okay, wait, I stop, Okay, I share. Better?
It's better now. It's clear now on my side.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. You're welcome. So move, build muscle, support heart, and recover by just a little meditation, a little yoga on that side. So it's about 2 to 3 weeks working out, okay, a week, 2 to 3 times a week on it. You want to have an overall, not just walking, okay, you just have walking, and then you also have cardio and a little bit strength training on it. Ayo.
It's blur again.
I'm
It
actually
was
moving
okay
the
for a
slide.
moment. Yeah.
Hold on, huh? See? All right, so here's where what it does. Sweat plus hydration loss. Okay, what does exercise? It does deplete your electrolytes. So be sure you replenish it. If not when you don't do it, you don't replace it, fatigue, cramp, dizziness might happen. So you want to replenish it with electrolyte. Magnesium also is one of it. Energy production. Definitely you want to replace it with B vitamins, low energy, poor recovery. Oxidative stress, of course, OPC3, right? Averagely about 3 to 4 caps. And muscle contraction, tightness, immune stress. You see, it does deplete certain things on the level when you exercise yourself. So you got to make sure you replenish your body as well. So this are some of the products that mentioned, which you have the electrolytes, the tower, which is your protein shake, and as well as your omegas and your magnesium. So this set here helps you prevent that from happening. Now we haven't wrote down yet, but I want you to notice something. There's some product that keep appearing, right? On it. Last but not least, social. Social activity is very important because it helps you connect with people, helps you indirectly manage your stress, also boost mental health, help you reduce depression, anxiety, and loneliness. It lowers stress inflammation, I'm so sorry. And it has all of this support. So, there's a saying that people age gracefully, or people that have, a view and live longer is because of social activities. It makes it stronger. And that's why I always tell people that shop.com is just great for business because it has so many social activity within and what we do, and has a aging or more mature unfranchised owner. I find that I have lots of social for breakfast, dinner, and lunch. Why not, right? I meet people and hang out. So I have a very engaging social life as a shop.com unfranchised owner. But anyway, we're talking baseline. So we're going to talk about what baseline supplementation that you need. When we've talked about stress, poor health, all these and processed food and stuff, these are all what you look at replacing, what get depletes when this happens. When you look at the amount needed, vitamin C can be replaced with OPC3, right? So when you look at all of them, there's some similarities of um, nutrition supplementation that you definitely cannot negotiate. And definitely you can see B vitamins, antioxidant, right? And some selenium with it. So what I recommend is this. Your baseline supplementation, you're looking at a multivitamin, sorry, I left the vitamin D out, OPC3, B complex, and calcium. With the amount that is being used, okay, you would cover your baseline nutrition. Second thing that you do, you add on with extra Bs and calcium and antioxidant with it. So when you add on with the antioxidant and baseline vitamin B and calcium, you're actually looking at just the general structure of living optimally in this day-to-day life. That doesn't include chronic stress level. I'm just talking about day-to-day going to work, coming back, right? Giving your exposure for cell phone, giving your exposure for pollution, giving that basic, not overdoing anything, okay? Eating right, added to it, okay? That this is what you need, a multivitamin, okay? This is your daily essential set, well thought of, that covered basically when you look at your stress and everything, not chronic, but and it's not a chronic stress level, but just basically that we're looking at going to work and coming back, right? About a day maybe, that would help with supplementations whereby you have this, where you have your B complex calcium, you write the amount of it. Vitamin D, and I added the omega-3 with it. And why? Part of the reason is we often don't take enough fish. So these are good dietary habits that you can use. Why omega-3? It's essential and it has enough DHA and EPA to it, and the body cannot produce this. The modern diet, typically, I would say we use a lot of omega-6, right? So it's about 20-1 in a sense. So with the omega-3 support, it absolutely helped the focus, heart health. It's between about 500 to 1,000 milligram of EPA and DHA. So that's about 2 tablets of the omega-3 that we help and that we need, okay, on it. So on my baseline recommendation, 1 cup of multivitamin must be vitamin B, 2 cups of calcium, because you need about 800 to 1,000 milligrams. So split the calcium up, because you can only do about 400 at one time, not more than that, because then it will be not of use. So you have to split them up, with it. And vitamin D. Vitamin D is very important, okay, to help you recover from stress. It's like a controller for you. And it's important also for some inflammation level as well. And you heard vitamin D on Dr. Frando that you've seen. So those are really important. 5,000 IU is highly recommended, okay, on that. So if I were to look at this supplement, that would be what I'm going to put in based on my food, based on my activity level, okay, based on anything that you do beyond that. That means your stress beyond that, you never recover with the 8 hours of sleep. You don't have a rest and recover. You compromise with your exercise schedule, and that as far as food, um, we're not adjusting our lifestyle for it, then we need to look at the chronic level. But most part of it, if we do just the basis of this, we're good. We're absolutely good. So morning, 1 cap. Some of you might want to do, I split the OPC3 because some people do well with OPC3 and calcium in the night sleeping. It helps them with relaxation. Omega-3 would be after, because it's fat soluble. You want to do it after either breakfast or lunch. And with vitamin D, you could do vitamin D together if you want to do it in the morning. Remember, it's also fat soluble. Even if it's isotonics, it does help taking it after. Okay, on it. So my recommendation, if not anything else, this is what you need to have, period. And that is also with learning how to eat a good TLS lifestyle, with the exception, with the 20% maybe, that's also if you're eating it with a good optimal level and doing this, you're perfectly fine. If you're going to rely absolutely on all the food, then remember one thing: the soil depletes, your digestion has an issue. You got to figure out whether you're going to do double of what you're doing, preparing a food. And the reason why it's said that it's really difficult to basically do it has an optimal level or peak level is because, number one, yeah, quality food is very, very expensive, and at the same time, to do, even if you do it, you got to get somebody to prep it, so they must do this every day of their lives on it. Okay, now there are exceptions, of course, to tag on. If you want to tag an enzyme to break your food down, these days we're not getting to digest very much, so it will be and if, let's say, you're not able to eat 20 to 30 grams of fiber per day, then maybe you want to consider adding the plus of the fiber powder to it. And if you're working out, and you might want to add a little bit of the protein shake or even the hydrate electrolytes to help you with getting more basically hydration level with it. So if I were to look at anything, this would be something that I would do absolutely on the isotonics on the other side of it as my baseline for it, with the consideration of eating well. So if I don't, you might want to add probiotics to it. So other than that, this will be my baseline. If you do your baseline well, everything else will be okay. But if you don't do your baseline well, then you're going to walk into a situation whereby you got to repair, readjust, restore. Okay. So always start with a baseline nutrition, get the baseline going well. The daily essential will be highly recommended on it. And well, do I need vitamin D? Why do I add vitamin D? Well, because not everybody stays in the sun these days very much. And so vitamin D is absolutely, absolutely, especially needed with the omegas on it. So that's why I added to that on the baseline, and not forgetting magnesium as well. So I am done. And this is just to give you an idea what you need and what every one of us should have and not compromise, so that we can handle our day-to-day activity, we can handle our even at least a bare minimum of a stress level to it, and our body will not get into a situation that is compromised. Okay. Jeffrey, I'm gonna hand it over to you for any Q&A.
All right. Thank you so much, Steph. A lot of information, a lot of great sharing. And I'm sure a lot of participants would have questions because there's so much related to our daily lives, what we eat, how we rest, and so on, right? So let's open up any questions from the room. You may unmute yourself or type in the chat box. There are some questions on the chat box if you can read, Steph.
Can you share the slide on sleep again? Okay, hold on.
I mean the products for sleep.
Wait, sorry, my my screen is, hold on. Ask me another question because it's not moving very fast on my laptop.
There's another questions in the chat box, Steph.
Let me, hold on. Can you read it for me while I try to figure this out?
Question from Angelina Un. What kind of nutrients would you recommend for those who has cancer?
Ask me offline. What kind of cancer?
There's no mention. Maybe Angelina, you would like to unmute yourself to ask? Okay, while waiting, you can still post questions or unmute. Okay,
For
Angelina.
taking. Oh, are you doing Angelina's question first? Okay.
Yeah, Angelina, clarify. She said my prospect just mentioned his mother-in-law has cancer. Still, there's no detail as to what cancer it is.
Okay. I just want to ask like in Stephanie's recommendation of what the baseline product, how to take it just now. There was also some products that was supposed to be taken in the evening. Is there, because it's isotonics, is it supposed to be taken? I can't eat before taking it, and I must have like a certain maybe 2 hours after lunch before I can take it, that kind of guideline.
Well, one cap is 5 minutes. I would say if it was Richard, he would put everything in the morning. He doesn't have a, you can actually put all that together in the morning. I just like to split it up. So can you do the morning with multivitamin, B vitamins, OPC, all? Yes, but not the calcium. Calcium has to be taken separately. You can't take 800 milligrams of calcium at one time. It doesn't work because your body is only wired to absorb only 400 milligrams. More than that, they won't absorb. So that's the reason why we split the calcium up. But other than that, if you want to take all of them in one go in the morning, you can. I like to separate it. So that's why I put my recommendation that way. It doesn't mean that you cannot do multivitamin, one B, two, one calcium, four OPC, and one vitamin D. You can do it all in one go if you want. But to space it out, one cap is 5 minutes wait. Does that help?
I think my question I think my question is not how much, not when I can eat after taking the isotonics, but how long after a meal before I can take isotonics.
If you're taking after a meal, if it's fat soluble, like omega-3 and vitamin D, you can take it after it because they are fat soluble vitamins, not water soluble. So they need the oil, and so you could take it immediately after. But
Okay, so for
you're talking because they are fat soluble, that's why I say after. But if they're not fat soluble, you then have to wait when your food digests. So after your food digests, then maybe a few hours later, then you take it.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Steph Lee is referring to isotonics.
Yeah, I know, but vitamin D is fat soluble, Richard.
Okay.
Steph, there's another question from Angelina. She asks, which one tastes nicer, multivitamin or daily essential packets?
I don't know. I've never separately. So anyone can help me with it. I've never taken it separately. Being honest about it, I've always taken it with the daily essentials. I think the multivitamin does taste a little bit like orangey, I'm not sure. I can't say that because I don't know. I really don't know. You have to try it. Anybody have taken multivitamin by itself?
Yeah, Eza reply, she said multivitamins taste better.
Okay. And this says it tastes better. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not saying that this is a sleep management product. Their baseline product. There are other sleep addressing product here. So if I were to use anything for sleep, it's either calcium or magnesium. Those are the two I would use. But then again, it's a different talk. It's a different day. If you have chronic sleep issue, it's a totally that's a different direction. But on a baseline, the Isotonics Daily Essential Kit with the vitamin D is sufficient enough for you to for baseline for a baseline must use nutrition, in my opinion. Mhm. What kind of
Okay.
nutrition would you recommend? Oh, I don't know what I would recommend for cancer. Cancer vary from people to people. And the reason why you can't put a note on it is because we don't know what type it is. And most part of any clinical studies, you can read about it, you can look at studies, it'll list out bromelain, it will list out curcumin, it'll list out OPC3 as one of the core main ones. And the baseline OPC intake suggestion is between about 100 to 300 milligram. I like to go with 300. That will be around 3 to 4 caps a day. So if you're not taking a 3 to 4 caps OPC a day, you might want to consider.
Steph, maybe I can share my experience with cancer. I'm not sure whether it will work for Angeline, but for myself, living with cancer for the past 3 years, I've been diligently taking our daily essential, but not when it's on chemotherapy treatment, right? Chemotherapy treatment, DK is a no, but the base thing that my oncologist approved on our products was our omega fish oil and vitamin D. I take it on a off record basis, not on chemo treatment, I must stress. And also our curcumin and our aloe juice. Aloe juice, the natural one. Okay, so these are things that I've been taking constantly. And like vitamin D, I don't take it during chemo treatment. So chemo treatment is basically omega fish oil, curcumin, and curcumin has to be taken like the 5th day after chemotherapy because it reduces inflammation for me at the same time, reduces my throat discomfort. And aloe is also because aloe juice, it helps to kind of soothe my health, up my immune, replenish all the basic I would say the basic vitamins that I can take because I cannot take DK, right? And during that period of time, it actually helps build my immune and reduces hot flushes when I have chemo. So after that, after all these treatments, okay, the main thing why vitamin D and DK is not allowed, according to my oncologist, is the antioxidant will wash away all the treatment drugs. So if that is the case, then treatment is useless. So after that, after all my treatments, about 2 weeks later, when I stopped treatment, I took back everything and I double dose on vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that I've been taking on off together with any of my supplements. And just in April, my scan, doctor tell me they cannot find my cancer cell because I'm out of treatment for 3 years. So these are things that I take regularly and I don't stop them. So since my chemo have stopped, I already resumed back our daily essential kit and the rest of the supplements that I've mentioned on a regular basis. There are times that I switch alternate day so that I won't be immune to them. They would help me. So well, I guess I did not take any other supplements except this. Even like basic orange, I don't take because when I take that, it causes flames. It causes inflammation for me in an indirect way. So I hope it helps you. Maybe you can just consider and think about it. And if I have eczema, any gut issue during chemo treatment, I'm allowed to take our digestive enzyme, but on a low profile when necessary. Yeah.
Thank you, Selena. Cancers are very different from that. And when you take the daily essential packet, the OPC is inside, that's the only antioxidant in there. But if you split the daily essential bottles, it becomes different. So you could pick and choose what you want. However, many cancer is very different, and any antioxidant during chemotherapy, generally the oncologist will tell you not to take it because of the contraindication that is going to happen. So when you talk about antioxidant, it's not just the OPC3. It comes on any antioxidant that is treating, and every cancer is very different. So it needs to be a specific type. Then we can discuss. If you would like to ask me that question again, we can talk offline, and you can tell me what type of cancer it is. So today has nothing to do with chronic. I hope you understand that. Today is only to talk about baseline. Baseline is if you and when you take these supplements, it will handle your day-to-day activity as long as your body is not in the chronic state. These baseline supplementation also needs to at least be good at you eating well, considering the fiber intake, considering the probiotics and the prebiotics intake of your food. Got it? I recommend the Go Trim diet is because it's very flexible and you can mix and match even using the how Singaporeans eat or how we're tweaking it here and there. It makes it more doable for people. So don't mention it as in like, hey, you know what? I need this extra. No, I'm not talking about extra. I'm talking about baseline, what you need on a day-to-day basis, how much OPC that you need that will help you address your day-to-day stress, your day-to-day pollution, blue light, all that I've shown you today. This just basic will help you get through it and at least keep your body at optimal level. Peak level is going to be difficult because it takes a lot of discipline to get all those food to be right. And it also, you have to consider depletion of soil. You also have to consider gut health on it. I hope that helps.
Okay.
Does taking baseline get up to peak? No, it does
You
not.
just answered the question.
Yeah, no, it does not. The peak would mean that it takes a little bit more discipline to get to peak, which means that you would now, when you're talking about peak, okay, you're talking about six pack, you're talking about muscles, okay? So it means that you're more aggressive in the gym, you're more aggressive in the workout. You're also more aggressive in your food, meaning you're literally the model of eating. So that means that you'll be having your quinoa, you'll be having so you're literally very disciplined to do it. So to have peak, you would need supplementation to help you lean out. Because you're exercising more, so your rest and recovery is higher. So your sleep level is high as well. Of course, supplementation will help you to get through the day, or if you have like work high or so. So yes, we're talking peak. You're gonna imagine that bodybuilding lady, that would be peak. Yeah, she's peak on it, and nutrition will help restore your cell, so you don't age that quickly also. So yeah, peak is a different thing. We're only talking baseline right now. I know someone who can get six pack. Angeline, I hope that six pack, we don't have to keep it in the fridge, we can take it out somehow to display it. Just kidding. All right, Jeffrey.
Hey, I think we have a lot of questions been asked. Maybe we can have one last one before we close for the night. Any more questions from the floor? It looks like everyone has got their questions being addressed and asked. If no more questions, I think, let me see. Is anything else here? No. All right. So if no more questions, I think that's all for tonight. Once again, thanks a lot to our leader, Stephanie, has been sharing so much of great knowledge today, which we can apply for our daily lives. All right. So with that, we will end tonight's session until we see you all again. Bye for tonight.
Thank you, Steph.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you.